Well, good morning, everybody. It's just before 7 a.m. here. Gonna feed the chickens this morning. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. I wish you could be here, actually. Just the smell of the air is so fresh here. If you can smell it. What if you just scratch right there? No scratch and sniff today? Well, that's all right. So I just wanted to show you, this is the this pail here is the fermented feed that's been soaking for 3 days, and this here is a scoop of dry grains, so that we've been soaked, or that we're about to soak. Sorry. And you can see here from this bucket. Well, maybe you can't really tell, but it actually doubles the amount of feed just by soaking and fermenting it. Doubles it. Imagine what that does to your feed cost. Well, you can see if you reach in here, this is fairly lightly rolled feed, but about 25% of this is powder, essentially. So still good feed value, but just not very accessible, because as the chickens eat, it gets flung out of the feeder, it ends up on the floor of the chicken coop, and there goes all your money down the drain. Whereas in this case, all the powder is locked up inside this good, rich, it's still crumbly, very easy to eat, very easy to digest mixture. So now we're going to be feeding this mixture of barley, oats, wheat, a little bit of canola, some peas. We fermented this over the last 3 days, and we're going to feed this to the girls today and see how much they like it. You stay out there, Miko. It's another windy day again today. Okay, let's take a step back and see what the critics think. I would say that's a win. Now I just want to put this in perspective. This is an 1,800 pound bag of feed we get from Bloom Enterprises. This cost us $270. So for this whole bag of custom feed, that's like 15 cents a pound. So for that same equivalent in 50-pound bags, that's now going to cost 24 cents a pound. So we have 40 chickens, and we feed them a full 3-gallon pail every day. So we can go 3 big scoops of dry feed to get a relatively full pail. And as I mentioned earlier, with the dry feed, there's a lot of powder content, right? So chickens, when they get in there, they get a mouthful, and then they just do this, right? And half your feed ends up on the floor. You can see all the dust and the powder, and your money goes down the drain. So when you soak your feed, what you're doing is you're taking 50% of this out, right? So now you've got this much in there, plus the fact that once it's soaked, all that dry material, that additional 25% of your feed that's not going on the floor, is now going into your chicken's belly. Now this is all they have to feed. So this third of a pail, I can fill this up with water. It'll swell up and it'll come up. You can see the line on the pail. It'll swell right up to here at the same volume of feed. And not only that, I've unlocked the full nutrient capabilities of the feed. Now imagine, if you will, you've gone to a fancy restaurant, ordered a $20 bowl of soup, and they bring you a fork to eat it with. As try as you might, half of it ends up on the table, or worse, on the floor. That's exactly what happens with dry feed. So that's why I recommend, if you're not soaking your feed and letting it ferment for a couple of days, give it a try. See if it works for you. Take a look at your egg production. Observe your chicken's behavior, observe their egg production, and just try it. What have you got to lose? Because right now, there's money literally just falling out of your pocket for no good reason. So your homestead doesn't have to be a Vegas style gamble. And maybe you're not going to make $1 million, but we sure as hell don't want to lose $1 million either. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down below for more homesteading tips and tricks with Kirkville Farm.